stage. Endless lists.
It'll get done.
Yes, it will.
We're all busy doing it. More and more of us, though, using the internet to buy presents. Prices competitive, and of course, there's the convenience of having all your gifts dropped off at your doorstep, or so you would hope.
You would hope so, but a survey has suggested a fifth of us who shopped online are actually quite unhappy with the delivery service Louise Greenwood has been investigating.
It may only come once a year, but it's an annual shopping expedition that can defeat even the best of us. Now more and more people are turning their back on pounding the pavements and heading instead for the convenience of the internet. Last year we spoke to breakfast viewer Victoria Church. She did all her shopping online, but not this year. That's because half of her parcels failed to turn up in time for the big day.
When Christmas Day did actually come, it was quite embarrassing because I had to tell my family that quite a few of their presents hadn't arrived. Obviously some people got their presents and some people didn't.
But Victoria wasn't the only one caught out last year. Thousands of people were left disappointed when Royal Mail was overwhelmed by Christmas post.
There were lots of stories of people having cards delivered to their letterbox without any attempt at a product being delivered, then having to go and queue for hours at sorting offices or warehouses to finally try to get hold of their goods. This is a massive issue for online retailers.
Well, we've all done it. Shopped online, found that perfect bargain and waited eagerly for our parcels to arrive. But you get in from work and what you find is one of these. Royal Mail says it's putting on extra resources to avoid another festive parcel pile-up. But this year, they're just half the story. And that's because 50% of everything that we now buy on the internet comes to us via hundreds of courier firms. And each of these has its own policy in getting the goods to you.
In fact, more than 1 in 10 parcels fail to be delivered on the first go. And that can mean calling a helpline to arrange a redelivery or trekking to a depot or a warehouse that could be miles from where you live.
I normally stick a note on the door, otherwise for me to go then over, I've got a small child, so for me to then travel over to a warehouse, it defeats the object of shopping online. So yes, I usually do rely on my neighbours.
You just come home and you're frustrated really because you're not there to pick up your parcel, and then you got to go back out again to delivery, which is the whole point of it being online, to get it at your door.
But the group that represents online retailers says this Christmas will be different. It's launching a scheme to cut down on failed deliveries.
The retailer can choose the right courier, say for the Highlands and Islands or for evening delivery or for fast delivery. So the consumer has a much better chance of getting a successful delivery to them.
But so far, only around 400 online retailers have signed up out of the thousands on the web. So while buying online this Christmas may save you money, it could leave you with some explaining to do if the big day arrives and there's an embarrassing gap under the tree. Louise Greenwood, BBC News.
So what can you do about it when things go wrong? Well, James Rope, you saw in the package there, is here. He's Chief Executive of IMRG, which represents online retailers, and Monica Gemini from Busiest Legal Service. Good morning.
Morning.
To you both. Morning. Well, James, 1 in 10 delivery is not parcel, not delivered first time out, which is not really very good, is it?
It's totally unacceptable. We've been saying this for years. I mean, you know, it's not rocket science getting a parcel to be delivered to your home. If you pre-arrange something that's mutually convenient with the retailer and you're there, it's going to work.
Can you do that? I've never had a retail experience where I can say, right, I'm going to be in at 2 o'clock on Thursday. Can you come around and drop it off then?
Exactly. It's always been the Achilles heel of online shopping, which is a tragedy, really.
It's your lot that should be sorting it out.
We are sorting it out. I mean, we're approaching 1 billion deliveries a year now. I admit it's taken a while, but now delivery is improving in terms of customer satisfaction quicker than any other aspect of online shopping. The most popular thing is the range of products available, but delivery is now 81% satisfaction. It's getting a lot better, and it will get 100%.
We had an email from Angela, Monaco, and you'll be receiving this sort of stuff all the time at Which, saying receiving the goods can be a very bad experience, but buying online is good. She's had to drive to depots. She had round trips of 80 miles, 40 miles, 66 miles. I mean, it's just absurd, isn't it?
It is absurd. And the key really is picking up on what was just said, is to try and pre-arrange if you can. If you can specify when you're going to be in, that's great.
And how many firms will actually accept that? Will accept you saying, these are the times I'm going to be in, you must come round at these times?
Yeah, that's the question, and that's the problem. It can be very difficult, especially if you're working. But if you can't pre-arrange a time and it is left at a depot, it comes down to what's reasonable. Is it reasonable to expect a consumer to travel 20 to 30 miles to pick up goods? I don't think so.
Yeah, see, James, the problem is, and you know, one-click shopping, then you forget the 6 phone calls that you have to make later when things don't turn up. There's also, I've experienced the invisible delivery card, where things don't turn up and say, well, we left your card, and there's no card. There's no card. I mean, it's not just my experience, but a lot of people. And when you say that 4 out of 5 customers are satisfied, well, 1 in 5 isn't. And that's a big proportion.
Yeah, I accept that. But there's massive investment going on in this area. You know, people are introducing evening deliveries. Do you know that the nation's unused phone boxes are being converted as we speak into collection points for online shopping? There's a whole host of...
Are they? How will that work?
British Telecom, they're converting the payphones. I mean, they're in high visibility locations.
But how would you pick them up? How do you know that...
They're being made into security boxes.
So they'd have to be staffed, though? You can't staff
No, it's all automated. I tell you, we're fixing all of the problem. Evening deliveries.
No, but you have to explain this a little more. So what do you do? Do you have a pin code or something?
You've got a phone box in the high street, in a high visibility location, in a convenient location. It's got power, it's got electricity, it's out there. What you do is you turn it into locker boxes, like you see at a railway station, and then it's automated when you order online, you allocate the place where you have it delivered. You go there with your credit card, the door opens, there's your stuff.
Apart from obviously going to your nearest phone box, normally you'd go to do that to make a phone call if you couldn't get one at home. I mean, how much, what do you do when you ultimately get really, really fed up with things just not turning up?
Well, ultimately, your contract is with the retailer, so it's really up to them to sort it out at the end of the day. You don't have a contract with the courier. You need to go back to the retailer and say, I haven't received the goods, you haven't complied with our agreement, you need to get the goods to me, which is why it's really key, if you can, make it very clear when you are going to be available to receive those goods, and specify that at the beginning if you can.
So it's not really one-click shopping, is it? It's one-click shopping and then it's a phone call to say, can you come at this time? Or can you drop it off with my neighbour?
I have to say, you're not being fair. We recognise delivery is absolutely crucial. We've spent the last 14 years working hard on it. We've now got a delivery trust scheme, IDIS, Internet Delivery is Safe. 450 retailers are part of this. If you look out for the IDIS logo, and lots of shops, Jessup, ASOS, all sorts of people are using this system, you will have a good experience. All the tools are there.
But and we did the phone box idea is an interesting one.
The thing is,
won't happen for this Christmas.
You've got to wind up, James. But the thing is, I mean, and it does work. It's great when it works, but there is a lot of frustration, and people tell us that. So that's why we're dealing with it again in the next hour.
We'll get it 100% right.